And we are live. Welcome everybody for this weekly live stream on the latest and greatest news in Ethereum and DeFi. Today we will be talking about first Vitalik, who announced something that will save Ethereum and the scaling issue. We're going to talk of the new project of Cronje, who was hacked for 15 million. The CEO of Bitmex is being sued by the CFTC and many other stuff, and we'll do the Q&A at the end as usual. If you don't know me, I'm Julian, your host, and on my channel, Eat the Blogs, I teach DeFi, blockchain development, and how to find your first blockchain job. Before we continue, quick shout out to my two courses. If you want to become a professional blockchain developer and make 100k per year like I used to make, register for my course, 6-figure blockchain dev. And if you want to learn how to make flash loan arbitrage, check out my other course on flash loan. And hi to everybody in the chat. So hi J Root, hi Stefan, SDFG, Eric, THX like this, Edo, Stefan. Hi guys, let's go. All right. So we're gonna start with the price of Ethereum. So unfortunately it was a little bit bearish this week. That's probably related to the CFTC that sued the Bitmex CEO. It's not it's a bit it wasn't really a good news. And there was also the Trump coronavirus which spooked the market a little bit. So yeah, I mean, it goes up, it goes down, that's life. In terms of gas fees, so actually it was down this week. This is the first time it goes below 100 GUI. So I mean, we start to see the sun again, even though this is still very, very high. Still, there was a bad news about gas fees. So that's the first dApp, the first project that announced that they are stopping because of high gas fee. So that's this project, Unilogging. I didn't know it, but that's really the first time there was that sort of announcement. So that's not too good. But Vitalik is coming to save us all. So Vitalik announced a new ID, so a new roadmap for Ethereum. So let me explain this. So he wants to do a new roadmap for Ethereum to make it more ZK rollup friendly. So ZK rollup, this is a technical solution for creating L2 sidechains. It's basically, this is sort of a mini blockchain attached to the main blockchain, and this could be used to offload some transactions with much cheaper gas fees. So Vitalik explained what kind of changes should be made in ETH1 clients as well as the tools, so that we can accommodate these L2 sidechains way faster. So now that Vitalik posted this, it's going, the whole community is going to focus its effort to in this direction. I mean, if you check out his post, it has received a really lot of engagement. And so Vitalik, oftentimes he launch ideas and then other people take over and actually implement this idea. It's good that Vitalik acknowledged the urgency of scaling Ethereum, because we know that users cannot afford to wait until Ethereum 2 is released. So that's super bullish. So in terms of what kind of scaling we can get from ZK rollup, actually, there are different cases. So first, just with Ethereum 1 plus ZK rollup, it could scale to 1,000, 4,000 transactions per second. And once we have Ethereum 2 that we combine with ZK rollup, because these things are not exclusive, they actually can be combined, we could scale up to 25,000 and even 100,000 transactions per second. So this is super cool. So the first step is to focus on 1,000 to 4,000 transactions per second, and I think in the short term it's probably going to be enough to go back to normal level for gas fee. Just to be clear, the post of Vitalik I mentioned, it does not mean that there will be changes or further delays in Ethereum 2. He was just discussing what we can do in the meantime before Ethereum 2 is released to reduce the gas fee. So yeah, that was a good thing. Next, I want to discuss a little bit this report of dApp Radar. So dApp Radar, they it's a very good website that produced some report on the Ethereum and the blockchain ecosystem, and so they release a study every quarter. And so here we can see the usage of Ethereum compared to other blockchains. So in terms of daily active wallet, this is a very important metrics because it tells you how many different users are using the different blockchains. So we can see that the growth on Ethereum was pretty huge. It was even bigger on Tron, but still for Ethereum this is not bad. It grew by 154% in Q3 compared to Q2, despite the high gas prices. So that's really bullish. And in terms of what is driving this growth, this is actually mostly exchanges, and you can see that during Q3 we had this huge growth for exchanges. So I don't know why they don't put exchanges in DeFi. I mean, it's kind of part of DeFi. However, for the rest, for game and for high risk, we can see that this is not really, Ethereum is not really popular for that. For Tron, they grew a lot for gambling and high risk DeFi also, but I mean they are very far from Ethereum. And for EOS, like they are not doing. So they grew also for DeFi games, not so much, and social. Actually, I'm not really aware of what is the social dApp for Tron, but the fact is, Ethereum is growing like crazy. All right. So next, we're gonna continue with the news of DeFi with the market cap. So actually, that was a small decrease this week at 10.9 billion. It's 200 million less than last week, but that's fine. I mean, we can grow every week. Sometimes we plateau a little bit. And in terms of growth, if you check at Uniswap, so Uniswap keeps growing and just never stop growing. Now we're gonna reach almost 2.5 billion. That's really crazy. And then also another notable progression is XDAI. So this is a scaling solution. This is, so in terms of market cap, this is much smaller than other projects, but you can see that recently it went really explosive. So when you see a project like this with a low market cap, the big interest is that in terms of token price, it can be really explosive when you start from a small market cap like this. All right, so one reason why XDAI market cap went up a lot, it might be because of a tweet of the CEO of Aave that mentioned XDAI as a possible candidate for scaling Aave on layer 2. So that's probably what drove the growth. Then in terms of rate, it's a bit boring this week. Everything is super lowish, not too exciting. So we're gonna quickly move on to the DeFi tokens. So the DeFi tokens, it's kind of negative. Yeah, it's mostly red. So let's see the best and the worst. So first, the best. So BZX, really good, 40%. Meta, this is an up-and-coming DeFi project. Bankers doing really well. Ample Force Maker, Balancer. Yeah, right. And then for the worst, so Pickle, Cream. Okay, so a lot of the DeFi food here is doing really terrible. PyDAO. Actually, I'd like to cover this project, PyDAO. This is like an innovative DAO. Yuan Finance. I mean, Yuan Finance, I think that was related to the hack that happened on the other project of Andre Cronje. Curve, yeah, I think the curve, it went really high before. So like really huge decrease here. XDAI. So XDAI, it's kind of weird because their market cap really increased a lot. So yeah, I mean, XDAI, like, yeah, it seems like an interesting token to me. Oh yeah, Sushi went down a lot. I don't really believe in Sushi long term. All right. So next, we are going to move on to the main piece of news, which is this hack of 15 million for the new project of Andre Cronje. So a bit of context here. So Andre is working on a new game called Eminence. And as part of his usual process, he is testing on mainnet in production, like we should do. So as part of the game, there is a token that is called EMN. And it's possible to buy this token on a liquidity pool created by Andre Cronje, which that liquidity pool works similarly to Uniswap. So to be exact, it takes the bonding curve of a Bancor for the technical details. So this is the EMN DAI liquidity pool, and there was another liquidity pool with EMN and the EAAV token. I don't know that other token, but I think this is everything is part of the Eminence game as well. And so the attacker, so actually there is a tweet that explains everything. So the attacker, what he did, he took a huge flash loan of 15 million on Uniswap and used half of this flash loan to buy EMN on one liquidity pool. Then with the other half, he sold EMN on the other pool, and so basically was able to do some arbitrage with his flash loan. And at the end, he made a profit on 1.67 million DAI. And if you want more detail of how it worked, you can actually check this thread on Twitter. And so, of course, users of Eminence were really pissed. And some of them that actually started to threaten Andre. So I think these guys are just so stupid because it's their fault. Like, the project wasn't ready. Andre clearly said like he was just testing things, so they shouldn't have sent any money. I think there is one guy who sent like 130,000 a DAI to the contract. I mean, come on, guys! Like Andre, I think he announced things pretty clearly. So yeah, I mean, this is sad, but I mean, yeah, you gotta be careful. All right, so I don't think long term is going to have any really bad impact for Andre and the project he launches. Then the next big news is Bitmex CEO was charged by the CFTC. So a bit of context, so Bitmex, this is the first derivative exchange for crypto based in Hong Kong. So they have future margin trading for crypto, etc. And they have many whales and institutional investors that use their exchange. So CFTC has two charges. So first charge is to run an unregistered trading platform, and second, failing to implement require anti-money laundering and KYC procedure. So when I thought of this guy, the CEO is Arthur Hayes. Actually, I always feel jealous because he was working in finance in Hong Kong before, and he decided to create the first derivative exchange. But I also used to work in Hong Kong in finance before in derivatives. So I'm like, shit, it should have been me who created Bitmex. I'm so jealous. But actually, I'm not jealous of the lawsuit, however. So anyway, jokes aside, so this is bad news for this guy, but this is actually bullish for DeFi. Yeah, because for DeFi, I mean, I think it would be really much more difficult for the US government to sue the founder of decentralized exchange. I mean, we'll see there. They're capable of every surprise, but yeah, like a lot of people will start to move from a centralized exchange to a DeFi with events like this. Okay, so next, so there is this new achievement of Uniswap. So its monthly trading volume exceeded Coinbase in September with 15.4 billion total volume compared to 13.6 billion of Coinbase. So for Uniswap, 15%, that's actually 65% of the total of the volume for DEX, which is 23 billion. So it might actually, for Coinbase, I'm not sure that the figure 13.6 is the whole volume, because Coinbase operates another exchange for institutional trading called Coinbase Pro. So I'm not sure if Coinbase Pro is included in this or not. But anyway, like, I mean, it shows that Uniswap just continues growing and growing. I mean, they just never stop at this point. This is really insane. All right. Next, I want to talk of this project, Foundry Finance. So this is a project to easily use the prediction markets of Augur. So Augur basically allows you to create some bets, but on the blockchain. So with this project, Foundry Finance, you can mint what we call outcome share. So outcome share, basically it's a sort of token that is used by Augur So when you mean outcome share, it requires you to lock some DAI in the outcome share. So this DAI will be used as a payoff if the outcome is realized. And so this outcome share, this is an ERC 1155. And so after you can wrap it in an ERC 20. And after you can be a liquidity provider in a balancer pool. So you need to keep some DAI available, because in the balancer pool you will need to provide an equal amount of DAI and outcome share. And there is also another project that will allow you to buy or sell outcome share on balancer. Let me see. Oh, I don't have it open here. All right, well, I'll put it in the chat after. And I think someone used this to make a okay. I think the market you can select now is, will Donald Trump win the 2020 election? So yeah, that will allow you to easily create a bet, and I believe that in the future you'll be able to add some other bets. So I typically, this is once you start to know to code a Solidity and the front end, this is the kind of project that you can do easily. Like as you can see, this is the front end is not too difficult. So yeah, I mean, it can be a good idea, you know, like to stand out and launch a personal project. Then another news. So there is a surge in terms of usage for the Brave browser. So Brave is this blockchain-focused web browser created by Brendan Eich. So Brendan Eich is the guy who created JavaScript and the Firefox browser. So he knows one thing or two about web browser. He used to be the CTO of Mozilla, but he was fired because he supported the Republican Party. And after that, he went on to create Brave. So the goal of Brave is to revolutionize the online ad industry. So with Brave, you don't have ads on the website, but instead publishers are paid according to how long you spend on the website, and they are paid with the BAT token, which is an ERC20 token that is on Ethereum. And so in August they had almost 20 million users, and you can see that this is a nice progression compared to before. To be honest, I'm not sure if Brave browser can really reach escape velocity, because you know, this is not like Ethereum. Like with Ethereum, we are in a world of blockchain where everything is new, so it's easier to become the leader. But for Brave, they are competing against Chrome, which already is way out there, like a huge network effect. So I think the smartest would be if Brave could actually merge with Firefox, which is struggling at the moment. Like their user, they didn't have a big market share, but it's still shrinking. And recently, Mozilla, the parent company, they fired a lot of people. So actually, I think if these two projects were to merge, Brave, I think Brave could like bring something new to Firefox, and maybe like this they would have a chance against Chrome, but I'm not even sure. But if they, I mean, I don't understand why these two projects are separated. Actually, it's the same. This is like the user of Firefox are users that really care about their privacy, so this is like very compatible with blockchain. Yeah. All right. Next, so the SEC chair suggested that all stocks could become blockchain tokens in the webinar. So it's not could become blockchain tokens, it's will become blockchain tokens, all right? So he also acknowledged that blockchain was a major challenge to the finance industry, and he also acknowledged that current banking payment system are antiquated. After he said he's still committed to help the current banking system, blah, 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 blah. And I was reading this and I thought, come on, man, like, you know, your bot is thinking, like, just quit your job, man, like, just join crypto, and come and eat the blocks, and I'm going to teach you Solidity, and you can make it in the industry, no problem. All right, so next, okay, so we're done for the DeFi news, so now the news for developers. So there was a new release of Solidity, so make sure to do the update in your projects. There is no new major feature, mostly some low-level stuff that don't really regard you directly, and there was also a bug fix about the free functions. So these are new kind of function introduced in the the previous release where you can declare a function outside of any contract, a little bit like a library, but more simple. Then, so there's this game I saw, Ethereum DeFi. So this is a game to learn Solidity security. So it's basically you try to hack some smart contracts, a little bit similar to Ethernote, but a little bit smaller, a little bit more up to date also. Then next, I saw this new tool, T-Time. So that's a tool to find vulnerability in Ethereum nodes. So you give it the URL of an Ethereum node and it will scan for vulnerabilities. For example, it checks that the version of the node that you use is not outdated and other things that you shouldn't do. So it's very useful if you run your own Ethereum node. If you don't configure your Ethereum node correctly, it's very easy to hack you. Alright, so now we're gonna do the Q&A. So I post quickly the link to my 2 courses. Alright, so I'm gonna go up in the chat and see a little bit all the question. Okay. So. Hey, Felicia, Jose, Hodo, Yash, Javier, Joma. Alright. So. From Russia with love. Okay, let me see. Where are all the questions? So, Jaja said, did you see the address that bought 370 ETH of Yemen and sold it for 1 ETH and 1 hour later? Oh yeah, like I saw that. Yeah, that guy, he bought for like 130,000 DAI of Yemen and after sold them for like 368. Yeah, I mean, poor guy, like it just he lost. Yeah, it's like it was really sad for that guy. No. All right. SDFG said, what is an outcome share? This is a token in the Augur project that is used to represent a bet. So you create a bet, and when you own the way you buy the bet is you buy the token, and then if the outcome realized, then with this token you will be able to make money. Basically, it's like if you buy a lottery ticket. It's very similar. Before on my channel I cover Gnosis, so they have the same system. Okay. Any other question? So NR saying Tezos announced DeFi soon. Do you think it could be a strong competitor for ETH? No. So recently on Twitter I saw a tweet about some security audit about Tezos, and like apparently they have some in the core blockchain. They have some serious security issues. So it's advised not to use Tezos at the moment until they fix these issues. So that's really bad. I mean, I really think a lot of these blockchain, to me, they are a little bit desperate. Like at this point, they're just so far behind Ethereum. Like they're still at the level where they are working on the implementation of smart contract on their blockchain, where Ethereum is already working at the application layer and like it's quite already advanced. So yeah, I mean Tezos and like Cardano, etc. Like I really think that's mostly a waste of time. Also, in terms of job market, the job market will be way smaller. So yeah, you're just taking a big risk here if you start to invest your time in this. Alright, Edo is asking, was the 15 million hack an actual hack, or did he just do arbitrage? Okay, that's a good question. It's I think this is an arbitrage, but I mean, you know, this question is never easy to say exactly, because even though, let's say it was an arbitrage, but that it doesn't mean that the original contract was supposed to allow this. So in the future they will need to fix the original smart contracts that they cannot do this arbitrage in the future. So it's almost like a philosophical question. But yeah, I mean, it just used Solidity. It didn't really hack the code of Ethereum. That's true. All right. Any other question? Today we don't have a lot of questions. All right. Oh yeah, Derek asked another question. What do you think about Polkadot? What will pull users to this blockchain? Well, if you start to have some blockchain project that are cross blockchain, so right now DeFi is really on Ethereum, but if we start to have some DeFi project that are between different blockchain, then Polkadot will be useful. So now we start to have some DeFi on EOS and on Tron. So yeah, Polkadot could be a bridge for this. I would say Polkadot could enable this new kind of like cross-blockchain DeFi, but this is very new. So we'll see if people see any interest in doing this. Maybe we could have a sort of a dynamic system where if this is too congested on Ethereum, then somehow we can move the liquidity to another blockchain where this is less congested, and for doing this we would use Polkadot. Yeah, I mean maybe we see so much innovation in blockchain. Edo said, was it just the scale of the arbitrage that broke it? Actually, I have to look in detail exactly. Maybe I could do another video on that, but the problem with flash loan is that it really introduced a whole new class of security hack. And even if you are a really good Solidity developer, you think there are no security vulnerabilities, but with flash loan sometimes it's just like it just messes with your mind, like until it happened to your smart contract and you're like, oh yeah, this was possible, I never realized. So yeah, I need to look in detail. Stefan is asking for the blockchain dev masterclass. What stack does the Capstone project use? So Solidity 0.6, Web3, recent version for Web3, and for the front end, so we use Truffle, of course, and for the front end we use Bootstrap and React. So like really I chose the most standard tech stack because the goal of the course is to train you to become a professional blockchain developer, and I want I want you to have the skills that are required by the industry. So everything I mentioned, this is really the most standard. Some people prefer to use Vue instead of React, but really in the industry what is required is React. Yeah. Dr. Abitsena say hello doctor. Joe Mara is asking, have you heard of Wi-Fi V2 soft yarn? Any thought about that project? No, I'm not sure. Are you talking of the Chinese folk, like Wi-Fi I with 2 I, or is this still another thing? This is crazy. Like, you think I've spent the whole day preparing this live, and there's still like some other DeFi project I haven't heard about. Like just like DeFi, just insane. Jaja is asking, do you think Uniswap V3 will have some anti-front run mechanic where you will have a high slippage, the bots will be stopped, okay, blah, blah, blah. Well, actually, so for the anti-front running, this is I'm not sure this is their main focus. I think their main focus was to introduce their governance token and the liquidity mining mechanism to compete with the other exchange like SushiSwap, who try to steal their liquidity. So yeah, I don't think this is the focus of their next release. Julian is asking, can you show us an entire video how to work with the front end on SushiSwap? The problem is when you talk about front end, if this is a tutorial, I can do it, but if this is a real front end that is used by a project like this, the complexity of front end is actually higher than for Solidity smart contract. So I might do a video, but I need to see, like, in terms of complexity, does it fit in a video on YouTube, or is it something that takes really several hours? But I believe, as a spoiler here, I believe that probably all you have to do is to change the token addresses. So probably you have like a JSON file somewhere in the repo, and you change the address of the tokens, and then you compile the front end. So maybe you run something like npm run build, and it produces all the static HTML, static JavaScript, and then you can drag and drop this to a service like a Vercel, or like what are these services where you have a couple of services where you can deploy the front end with drag and drop, and then you just change this JSON, and that's all you have to do, really. Derek asking, are your courses with Git included so you can publish it there? Git is a tool that is totally different. So Git, you have to install it yourself, but this is very easy. You can, if you have Windows, if you have Linux, if you are on Mac, you can install Git, and then the code is on GitHub. So once you have Git, you can download from GitHub very easy. But if you don't want to deal with this, you can just download with the button from GitHub. You click and it says download as zip, and then you unzip it, and this is fine. But I recommend to install Git, because for the basic command of Git, this is actually quite easy. Stefan is saying, interesting article recently about how arbitrageurs are using Uniswap V2 router mechanics to suck out value profit. Okay, do you have the link to this article? Edo is saying, Julian, I don't understand why a project would end just because of gas price. Aren't those costs just pushed to the consumer? Was the gas so high that they thought user wouldn't use their platform? Well, high gas price don't make sense for any kind of project. Like for DeFi project, it can make sense because if you are a whale or if you invest a lot, then the fixed cost of the transaction can be absorbed by the huge volume of your transaction. Like if you pay $100 for the transaction, but you are trading like, I don't know, $100,000, it's not really a big deal. But if, for example, for NFT, if you buy a NFT for, I don't know, $3 and you pay $50 in transaction fee, then it doesn't really work. So yeah, I mean, they didn't have to close their project, but it's sure that they didn't have any users at the moment. So maybe that they were so pissed that they just wanted to send a message to the developers, the core developer of Ethereum, to say, hey guys, like, we're really pissed, like, there is no point being on Ethereum, we're moving to Tron or something like this. Maybe there was a message, they wanted to make a point or something like this. Edo saying, just wondering, as someone who is trying to consider gas price as I develop smart contract. I mean, like the main use case now on Ethereum, it's DeFi. So even though there is high gas price, I don't think it should really deter you from starting on Ethereum. You're not wasting your time. And as I explained before, now we have a lot of people who are working on scaling solution, especially with L2. And now that Vitalik started to officially say, like, hey guys, we have to do something about it, and start to create this post on the forum of Ethereum, saying, yeah, we need to focus on making Ethereum more L2 friendly. I really think it's gonna boost all the work that we're seeing on L2, and probably in a couple of months, like, we'll see more and more DeFi project moving to L2, and then you'll see the gas fee coming down. So the gas fee that are high, this is annoying, but it's short term and it's going to go better, and it doesn't change the fact that Ethereum is the blockchain with the most traction, and it's not going to change tomorrow. Really not. Yeah. Say you should talk at ETH Summit. Oh, thanks. Yeah. Yeah, I should ask them. Alright guys, well, I think this is pretty much it. I think we're done with the questions. Yeah, so thanks for coming to this live stream, guys, and I'll see you soon on Eat the Blocks. Have a nice day. Cheers.